Hello everyone. Now onwards, we will start touching the grammar portion for class 10th. Though in class 10th, nothing is specifically asked in exam about the chapters like tenses, active, passive, adjective, adverb. But you are asked about your knowledge from grammar portion in the form of different exercises. We call them integrated exercises like editing task, omission, jumble words, fill in the blanks. So doing them perfect, you need to have good command over English grammar. So practice well, though we will also brush up your knowledge with these small videos. So first we'll take the chapter tense. In short, if I say tenses means times, simply tense means time. Any such activity that tells you the time reference in any action, in any activity, we call it tense. And you see in the first line here that no sentence can be complete without a verb. And verb actually refers to time. Means in any sentence, definitely anything is definitely portrayed by a verb, that is verb. If it is being done or if it itself happens. But in both the forms it is a verb. And the verb actually expresses the time, that when the action, the status of the action. Like in the second line, you can see to give a complete picture of the action or state, the proper form of verb should be used, and that indicates the correct timing. So, we should be able to make out whether the work has been completed or it is presently underway or it will be done after some time. I hope you understood now. In the last this line, this is a very good gesture for symbol for three type of tenses: present tense, past tense, and future tense. Here are three small sentences. You can understand the value of time or tenses in this. Like in three sentences, I walk, I walked, I will walk. In all three sentences, the subject is same, the action is being done, that is again the same, no object is given. So it is intransitive verb, I can say. But in all three, the forms of the verb is little changed. So this is a very prominent rule of tense. Subject is same, action is same, but the time reference about the action is different, and it makes the quite difference here. Likewise, so we'll study these specific types of tenses especially. First is the present tense, the form of verb that indicates a underway or just currently completed action, means just currently completed. That will also come in this category. Or any action that is under process, being done, or tells about some habitual action that someone does. So all such sort of sentences will fall under the category of present tense. So there are again some four subcategories of each tense. Like if you say present tense, it will have again four categories: present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. So let's start with today only present indefinite tense. The identification of such sentences in Hindi is shown in this line here, that you will find such sentences ended with ta, ti, te like this. So that is Hindi in identification in Hindi sentences. Let's move on English portion. So such sentences will tell you about habitual action. Number one, like my father goes to library every evening. So it tells about habitual action goes. S or es with such sentences you will find very common. So this is very common identification. So tell that the father goes to library, that to every evening. So that is somewhat sort of habitual action. Second, The identification you can see here is for universal truth. We also use this tense because we are well aware about the usage. What is the use of these tenses? That is why actually we are learning. Like the earth goes around the sun. So you can see like this. So verb is like this. The sun rises likewise. Third, you can see to express facts. Those are true at the time of speaking. Suresh walks slowly, but he will soon gain speed. So though the person is again making one statement that he would get us good speed, but the moment he spoke that sentence, actually that time the person may be walking slow. So he expresses it in the same tense. Suresh walks slowly. Now next is to express habits, customs and ability. So these are all the usage of the sentence, or to express the fixed program in the future time. Anything that is fixed in future, we also expresses it in present tense, or something that is of past, we also express in present tense. Like you must have seen the very common use of this rule that I am telling right now in news headlines. When that news anchor narrates something in news headlines, he reads it in present indefinite tense. When he goes in the detailed story of the news, when he goes to the news story, then he uses the past or future tense. So this is very common use of this. This is a very important thing that I am going to tell you now, the structure of English sentence. So this is very simple, that structure of English sentence is subject, then verb, then object. In all the tenses, in all English sentences, you will find this common structure everywhere. There is slight modification here, like you can see, like subject is common here, subject, then is MR. You may be surprised, sir, how there is MR. So we'll leave this portion right now. After subject, you see verb, and verb is with S or ES. So subject done, verb done, then S or ES. And where to use S or ES and where to use only V first form, we'll discuss on it slightly later. You can see like this. So the formula is subject plus verb first form S or ES plus object. So this is a very common structure in such case. Now I am going to tell you is MR. Sir, in present definite tense, how we can imagine is? There are certain sentences where no action is actually done, but still we cannot imagine any sentence without a verb. Like you tell about someone's characteristics. In such sentences, you will not find any action being done, but still that require a verb. So in such cases, we will use this formula. This one is MR. Like you can see this, very perfect example. I am a teacher. So subject is I, you can see here, I am a teacher. So subject is I, then am is auxiliary or helping verb, but we cannot call it a helping verb here because there is no other main verb, so it plays the role of perfect verb here. So we can call it verb. We call it auxiliary when there is again a supporting main verb also. I am a player. So all these sentences are also present in definite tense. You cannot say, sir, these are of continuous tenses. Fine. So because it tells you about the characteristics, about the description of the fellow. Though there is no action done, but still it require a verb. Now, in the cases where we are using main verb, and S or ES. Like you see, the subject is dog and we are using dog barks. In the second case, you can see dogs, the subject is plural. Here the subject is singular, we used S. And the second case, the subject is plural, dogs, and we are not using barks, we are using bark. So your confusion is now clear. Where to use S or ES? With the subject I, we, you, they. We will use only we first. Only we first. No S or ES will be used. Like if I say, I go to school at 9 o'clock. So with I used go. If I say Ram, Ram goes to school. And the second rule you can see here, third person pronoun or singular noun, we use S or ES. He, she, it, Ram, Ravi, one fellow, my brother, my sister. So with when these all are as a subject, we will use verb plus S and ES. But in such cases, when we are using first person and second person pronoun and the plural subjects, we will use only we first form, not S or E. So let me clear it for you, where we use do and where we use does. Again, it is shown here that if the subject is third person, we'll use does, like he, she, it, or any other noun or pronoun that is telling you singular person. That will all fall in this category. But if it is a first person pronoun and second person pronoun, means I, we, and you. Plus, you can see one thing here, the plural pronoun, that is they, or if I say my friends, dogs, teachers, means anything that is plural. My friend, yeah, my friends, my brothers. So, if all these are as a subject, we will not use do, but we will not use does, but do. I hope it is clear. Now, let's talk about the formulae. Here it is. So we'll divide it into two first. This portion is subject plus verb with S or ES and not. But it is negative sentence. So in negative sentence we add one more thing, that is not. Like see the sentence, you do not speak the truth. So subject is you, then do, again not, speak is verb, object is truth. So with you will use do. Had it been Ram, I would have used does. Ram does not speak the truth. And in such sentences, you can imagine, sir, why am? So there is no action done. So your auxiliary will play as a role of verb here. So in such cases, we'll use is, am, are. Now let's talk about interrogative sentence. These are again of two types. One is, I told it earlier in your classes as well, yes no type. Another one is WS type. So we'll take first type of interrogative sentence. Starting, yes no type sentences are those sentences for which we can answer by simply saying yes or no. If I say, do you speak the truth? So you can also answer by yes or no. So all such questions come in this category. We call them interrogative sentences. Type is yes no type. And identification is, such sentences never start with what, when, why, but these sentences start with auxiliaries, helping verb, am, does, do. You can see like this. But and the second category of interrogative sentence will always start with why, when, where, all these. So this is first type. So what is the formula for it? Let's find it out. These are all these. So its formula is here. Yes. We started with auxiliaries as I told you earlier. So it will start with is, am, are, or it will start with do, does. So first, in other previous sentences we use subject first, but here we are using auxiliary, then subject, and then verb first form. No s or es because we have already used s or es here with do, does. Then object. Clear? So let's see one example here. Do you speak the truth? Do, does. So we'll use do with you. We'll use does with Sri Patel, right? Mr. Patel. You, then subject, then speak, verb, and object is the truth. And we'll put one interrogative marks. Now we'll go to second category. I called it yes, WS type questions. The second type of interrogative sentences, WS type questions. See, these will always start with these pronouns or relatives. What, why, who, whose, when. These will not start with do, does, or is, am, are. These will start with like this. And you cannot answer for all such questions by simply saying yes or no. You will have to answer in detail, right? So for this all, we can say these all are WH or WH word type questions, because these all start with such words which generally spell with WH. You can see here the words I have ticked. This is the structure formula. First WH word plus or is, am, are, like why is, what is, your name. So this is one category of sentences where we don't have any action being done in the sentence. Second category, you can add WH word, then do or does. WH word, do, does, plus subject plus verb. And in interrogative sentence, please mind it, you never start interrogative sentence with a subject. You always started with auxiliary or interrogative word. Like here in the second category, we did not start with the auxiliary. We started it with interrogative word like what is, where is, like this. But in previous I said, am I smart? Am I looking good? Do you go for morning walk? All such. So these are these different two categories of sentences. And the last category in this is the last one. There are some questions which are interrogative as well as negative. Like you see here, I can mark it for you. Does he not come? So these are interrogative with negative. So simple, the structure is given here. You can just copy it here for you by pausing the video. So WH word is there, or is, am, are, it will start with is, am, are, or WH word, like I can say why does he not go there. So I started with WH word, but here you cannot see any example of WH word. All are with interrogate, means yes no type interrogation. So does he not come? But here interrogation marks is there, but it's also interrogative with negative. So this is the last category of present indefinite tense. I hope you understood it well, because simple identification is that these all tells you habitual action. These never tell you the time of any action being done, but it tells you about a general statement that you do any action. So it tells you about the habit, it tells you about the characteristics, it describes the noun, it describes some person, but it does not clear any time reference. So that is why we call it indefinite tense, but it refers to present tense, so we call it present indefinite tense. You all are requested to please practice 10 sentences on your own and note down all these key points and formula in your fair grammar copy with 10 sentences of good example at least. Various sentences, some of interrogative, some of interrogative negative, some of positive, some of negative. Do this work in your fair copy and practice well. We'll touch present continuous tense in next video. Thank you for joining.